So we have a real issue. Young people are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. We put up something earlier this week, and I did not expect it to go nuclear, but it did. And of all things, it was a 90-second clip from MSNBC. Of all places, MSNBC. I mean, like half the content we do is trolling these guys. Yet they had on a professor who is unbelievably raw and cutting and devastating in his assessment of modern day America. And it cuts across party lines. It cuts across spirituality. It cuts across all politics and all cultural rifts. It goes to the future of our country. What is the future of our country? Do kids have hope? Are kids engaging in the behaviors that means that create human flourishing? Or is oppressive nihilism based on a lack of opportunity and a lack of faith in the systems that have been created? Is that what is winning the day? This professor, his name's Scott Galloway, he's a professor at New York University. He went on a tirade about what is actually truly happening right now in this nation. And my God, it hit me in the core. We'll talk about it in just a second, but first, watch the clip. This has gone thermonuclear on our channel. It's got 30,000 retweets, 36,000 likes, 10,000 saves, 10,000 bookmarks, and 3 million views. Never in my life have I seen this for an MSNBC clip on my channel, but here we are.
First time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Young people aren't having sex. They're not meeting. They're not mating. The pool of emotionally and economically viable men shrinks every day, which lessens household formation. So we have a real issue. Young people are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. We take pride in rejecting 90% of our applicants, so the incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own a housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, it would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. Young people have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring the people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people. So,
that is Scott Galloway. This man probably disagrees with me on like maybe 90% of everything I believe. I can't assume, I have to assume that a professor going on MSNBC who lives in New York doesn't agree with me on so much, right? As a like red-blooded conservative dude, family man in Florida, right? You just got to assume that. But I think that he and I agree on the only thing that really matters, which is, do we have the spiritual timber to continue as a nation? Are people believing in the American dream or not? And right here is the destruction of the American dream. He talked over it and he talked about it. Here we go. Percentage of children earning more than their parents by year of birth. Look at this. In the year 1940, there was 90%. Now it's cratered throughout from 1960 to 1970. It cratered further through 1980, blipped a little bit, and now is cratering again to the lowest point ever. Children are not out earning their parents. Children are not being left a better country by their parents, which is really, truly the question. Children are not being given the opportunities that their parents had. Generations are stealing from each other, and that generational theft will come to a calamitous end in a horrifying result for all of us. You like paying Social Security? You enjoy paying your Social Security? You think you're ever going to see any of that? Please. Please. So children aren't having sex. They're not in relationships. It used to be that 60% of couples by the age of 30 had one child and would be able to hit replacement levels. We're not at replacement levels. That shows a fundamental breakdown in the system. Now, many people can argue when that breakdown actually happened. I would argue that obviously the advent of the nihilistic internet culture, open access to pornography that kills male sex drive, kills testosterone rate, hollows out your brain, destroys you as a person. That's part of it. But also throwaway culture, just the throwing away of people, the dispensing of people. This is evil. The visions of throwaway culture, where we throw away our religion, we throw away each other, we throw away our country. That's permissive. And it's pernicious. And it's persuading an entire generation of people to just give up. And that's what they're doing. They're just giving up. And it's really, really critical for you to see the results of that. Because what's going to happen is then you're going to have civilization collapse. You're going to have entire ghost towns created. You're going to have entire states that can't afford to pay for the older people at the end of the spectrum that need social services, or the poor people at the other end of the spectrum that need social services. Who's going to pay it? Where's it going to come from? If you have no productive class, you can't just keep printing money. You really can't. I mean, history shows this. I don't care how powerful our military is, or how many guns we have, or how many bullets you have in the military. That you can't just keep printing money. It's going to destroy this place. And I guess I'll give you one final poll here and one final bit of statistics. This is why Joe Biden is losing young voters. Not in my lifetime has a Republican won young voters. Donald Trump didn't win young voters in 2016. Joe Biden falls behind Donald Trump in young voters. Young voters help Biden to victory. They will abandon him this year. Why Donald Trump is gaining ground with young voters? Trump gets surprise boost with young voters. Biden disillusionment. This is why. Jake Paul jumping in, talking about like how sick it is that we have people in their 80s running everything, 90s and 80s. Klaus Schwab's in his mid-80s. Nancy Pelosi's in her mid-80s. Joe Biden's in his mid-80s. Chuck Schumer's in his 80s. Mitch McConnell's in his 80s. George Soros in his 90s. These people run the world. What the hell is going on? My generation, left or right, agree with me. We need a president of our country to do better. Young voters who help Biden victory are a big weak spot for the Democratic coalition. Biden accomplishments: highest gas prices, worst inflation, plummeting crypto prices, highest rent prices ever, created a new incomprehensible language. If you're reading this and you voted for Biden and you still don't regret it, you are the American problem. There is faith out there, and I suppose I'll leave you with this, that even demographics that would really surprise you are very proud to vote for Trump now, because they remember in America where they did have a little bit of a extra dollars in their pocket and pep in their step and hope in the future. And that was a Donald Trump America.
Well, you know, with Trump.
Yeah, I'm with Trump. I don't know what everybody got against him.
Yo, he was making the breadwinners, you heard?
I'm a Democrat too, but okay, we Trump. We need Trump back in office right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I with Trump, to be honest with you, bro, for real, Trump really did that. And I like him because he's about money. It wasn't about no politics. He wanted to make America great again. Through Trump.
That boy Trump, he making sure to get their bread. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking Trump for life. Trump for life. I ain't gonna lie.
Blood on the Trump. Trump wanted us to get off our ass and get some money. Trump 2024.
It's the truth. You made everybody hold a piece of money, you feel me?
Trump really a boss. So Trump running it how it's supposed to be ran. And people just can't take it. And he putting out facts in front of the people. He ain't lying to the people. People just don't want to accept the truth.
Trump, man, we rocking with you. Love you, Trump. My dog. Uncle T, what's up?
Trump put the money in our pocket.
Trump had the country on a better path as far as economically.
He put America first, so it makes sense. I like someone who's like to play his people first.
Trump 2024, my brother.
They know they can't get him for none of the real we get it, gang.
I ain't used to like that. But now, bro, I realize that he meant well for the country. Bro. We need that back. Free Trump. Trump 2024.
They tricked y'all dumbass to get Trump out the chair, and now look how that backfired on y'all dumbass. Trump got my back. Trump for life.
Donald Trump, he showed his love, and he didn't stop. 2024 Trump. Trump 2024. And we from Baltimore.
I ain't gonna lie. Trump, my mother dog.
As much as they talk about Trump, he's probably the best thing for America right now, no cap. Really.
Trump. My man Trump, he's gangsta. I like him. I love him. Make America great again. Let's go.
Trump 2024, Trump 2028, Trump 2032. Man, listen, Trump for life.
Trump for life. From a demographic that they tell you has never voted Republican, never will vote Republican, shows you that things can change. It's inspirational. And so that is what we hope to be on this program. We don't want to be doomers. We do want to look at the hard data and say that what the Uniparty has done, what corporate Washington has done, and Democrats are part of this, and so are Republicans. What they have done by leveraging out and maxing out and melting down our credit cards and destroying our future and eviscerating the opportunities for young people in this country should never be forgiven. We should never have this cadre of octogenarian degenerates ever running again. Like, why? Why does all of Washington, D.C. look like a nursing home? Why are senators dying in office, right? Dianne Feinstein. Like, why? Why are people clinging on for dear life to this? Term limits now. End the madness. Give people hope again. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for more hope